How's your Monday going? Just checking in here on a beautiful Monday in Colorado. All right. Today I'm going to talk briefly about how to get the connection back and forge a strong connection and not get the opposite, which is people ghosting you, pulling away, retreating, withdrawing, avoiding, etc. All right. That is a huge bummer. All right. So first of all, let's frame and remind each other what we want in life. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all of us want to be loved and accepted for who we are. And I'm pretty sure we also want a relationship where we feel that way and consistently over time, not just in the first year, but in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We feel loved and accepted for who we are. All right. And I do the same. I love and accept who my partner is. I think we all want that type of relationship. And that's called a strong, secure, indestructible partnership. And it takes two people to create that kind of relationship. It can't happen with one person dragging the other person up the mountain. I think you get that, right? Now, some of you find yourself in relationships where someone ghosts, withdraws, retreats, and no problem if they come back. Ghosting, not so much. Ghosting sort of means they disappear and they stay disappeared. Withdrawing and retreating is temporary. They come back, right? So maybe that distinction is important here. When people ghost us, that's a permanent situation. A lot of us, almost all of us, find ourselves in a relationship either as the more avoidant partner or the more kind of anxious pursuing partner. That's a really normal relationship. One person pursues connection, the other person withdraws from connection under stress. Okay, that's normal. If you're in that type of relationship, don't worry. That relationship can work and it can be awesome. So the way to forge a strong connection with that inevitable dynamic, which is your attachment dynamic, is to do a couple things. And first of all, I always recommend, and I'm going to teach this on a class this week, by the way. So I'll talk about that class in a moment, but I always recommend you try a couple things that are simple. It's like a litmus test. Can this person, the person I'm with, handle me and our relationship? Can they show up? Can they arrive? Can they be there for me? Can I be there for them? Okay, so one of the things we can do is we can take 20, like if you're pursuing someone that's somewhat retreating, withdrawing, etc., you've got to step on the brakes, not the gas. Step on the brakes of that behavior and do that for 1 day to 7 days. With it, you're going to get a lot of information in the first 48 hours if the person says nothing, does nothing, and they don't notice that you are not over-functioning and overdoing your relationship stuff. Because you're not going to get what you want if you keep doing what you've always done, which is person pulls away, I get anxious and freaked out, I pursue, I'm angry, I'm annoyed, I'm hurt. You've got to change things on your side. It's very seductive to try to get them to change. Okay, that's a big mistake. I'll talk about Wednesday. Let me make sure I've got the date right. The class is tomorrow. No, the class is Wednesday from 2 to 4 Mountain Time. And I'm going to just put a link in the chat here in the comment section. Oh, I can't do it. I did right before it worked. So maybe someone from my team can put a link in the... can you drop a link in chat? Okay, when they drop the link in the chat, I will on Instagram here. But basically, it's relationshipschool.com/connection secrets. That's the class I'm going to be teaching Wednesday. 2 to 4 Mountain Time, or sorry, 2 to 3 Mountain Time. It's 1 hour. Okay, should be very doable. It's free. I haven't done a free class, guys, in a long time, so I'm super psyched to do this. Okay. Forging strong connections, remember, it takes two people. You both have to want that. If one person wants a strong connection and the other person does not, how are you going to be a team? How are you going to forge a strong connection? So the very first thing everybody has to remember is strong connections happen with two willing and able people. Okay. By the way, I'll take questions here in a little bit. So if you want to type your question, I'll take a couple before we stop today. I won't be on here all that long. Let's see, pin comment. Okay. Now, I believe that the link should be there. So again, I'm doing a free class. I'm going to go way deeper on this. This is just a very light trailer, touch in, and I'll answer a couple questions. Wednesday, 2 to 3 Mountain Time, where I'm going to go heavy into this, and I'm going to cover a few important things. Like, where did my dog go? The big mistake that ruins relationships, phrases you can use, exact phrases you can use to get people to open up and connect with you emotionally. And then the top reasons, I'm going to probably list 5 where other people are not making you a priority, right? This will be somewhat gendered to talking to women who are with guys like this, but if you're a guy who's with a woman like this, or wherever you are in the gender spectrum, the gender binary, you certainly are welcome as well, all right? This class is part of my story. I was an emotionally unavailable dude for a long time, and then I worked on opening my heart, but my wife did something really powerful that helped me along the way when we were dating, before we were married, because I ran away a couple times, which I'll talk about on Wednesday. Okay. Other things I want you to think about before our class Wednesday, and this, you could call this homework, okay? I want you to do a real reflection exercise here on what your part in this dynamic is. I know, you're like, I don't have a part. The other person's pulling away. We always have a part, no matter how holier than thou or how awesome we think we are. There's a part that we're playing in a relationship dynamic, because it takes 2 people to create a relationship dynamic, and that's me and you, if I'm in a relationship with you. So what is your part? And I don't want you to beat yourself up. This is not a self-judgment exercise. This is a self-reflection exercise to get honest about what is it that I do or don't do that contributes to an unfair, unequal relationship dynamic where I'm not getting my needs met, and it's hurtful and it's frustrating. What do I do or not do? Okay, write that down, and I want to hear a couple shares on Wednesday. Okay. Yes, Wowie View. I do work with people privately, but I mostly do group coaching. That's kind of mostly what I'm up to now. And you can apply on my website. Yeah. Okay, any other quick questions? I'm going to share 1 or 2 other little things before we step off today. I want you to get back to your life there. But please do free up your schedule Wednesday. Come live. If you can't make it live, don't worry, we'll send a recording. And preferable live, right? Because the recording gets sent to you and you're busy and you're overwhelmed with all the things you got going on, and you're probably not going to view the recording unless you're really, really wanting this information. So I want to encourage you to show up live so that you can get the most out of this class and that you can ask a question. Okay, it's completely free. It's called a webinar, kind of a free web class, if you will. And again, we're going to talk about 3 secrets to forge strong connections and avoid ghosting. All right. So that's the dynamic that we're going to be diving into. All right. So Kristen is asking, what do we do after giving them space? Well, you want to, what I call, have a contextual conversation where you give the person space. Let's call him a man. You say, cool, you took space. And he hopefully gave you a return time, like a day, an hour, etc. If he didn't bring a return time, that's a problem. And we've got to really get good at, if we're the withdrawer, we got to get good at communicating, you know what, I'm not going away forever. I'm not disappearing. I'm not leaving this relationship. I need space for a little while, and I will come back and we can talk then. And ahead of time, you guys can talk about what type of arrangement will work best for you. Like, hey, 1 day, 5 days is too long for me. That doesn't work for me. And if you're in a fair, equitous relationship, the other person understands the impact and considers your feelings in the process and goes, oh yeah, that's not cool. That sounds too long. Okay, well, let me push myself. How about an hour instead of 2 hours, or a day instead of 2 days? Right? And a lot of times people that are wanting space just want to avoid. They don't actually want to come back and deal with you or themselves, which really isn't about you, but it's just about their history. Okay. Yeah, good question though. What time is the class in Australian? Good question. I think you're 16 hours ahead of me, so 16 hours plus 2 p.m. Mountain Time. What is that? I think it's early in the morning, probably 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning, Australian time would be a guess. Yeah. Do we communicate? Elaine's asking, do we communicate we are just giving them space, or just give it? Always best to do what works for both of you. Why would I do something that's good for me that's not good for you, as my wife often says? So, hey, how does this sound? So again, ahead of time, ahead of the space taking, ahead of this arrangement, we have a conversation, we agree. Yeah, when you take space, you don't need to even, let me know. I just know you're taking space, but I know you're coming back. And I know it's never going to be longer than a day. That's fine for some couples. Other people, it's like, no, we are very clear. When we take space, we put a time frame and a time limit on it, and then we let people know what the deal is. Okay. Yeah. Suki, I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow in the class. I'm not going to talk about that here. Thanks for asking. In terms of my wife, she did a couple of things, and I'll mention one of those things definitely tomorrow or Wednesday in the masterclass, okay, or the free webinar. All right. Nice. What else? Anything else before we stop today? So again, the link should be pinned. I don't know if it is, but it's relationshipschool.com/connection secrets. All right. It should be pinned in this live on Instagram. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, it's just relationshipschool.com/connection secrets. There it is. It's right below your chat. Class is Wednesday, Nika, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go way into this on Wednesday at 2, and I hope to see you there. Cool. Thanks for being here.